How's
Hi,
the
James.
squad looking fitness-wise? We saw Kurt Zuma out there earlier.
Yeah, he's had a day back, so he's just started back really. He's just trying to see how his ankle is and how he's getting on. So hopefully he's making good progress.
Too soon, obviously, tomorrow.
Good chance that it's probably too soon, but we'll see how he feels tomorrow, and we'll make a decision on that. Yeah.
No new knocks?
I don't think there's anything of too much note. I think everybody's a lot of tiredness, a lot of fatigue round every camp at the moment in the teams in the Premier League. But I think we're all okay.
But to counter that fatigue, the win over United, that must have provided a real boost. Can that work to your advantage as we head into tomorrow's semi-final?
Well, I don't know if it'll work to our advantage, but it'll certainly give us the confidence. We hope that we've been missing at times this season. But it was a great performance. The players played ever so well, and I'm hoping that we can back it up again.
Sounds like morale's good anyway. In terms of Frankfurt and the pain of a year ago, can you use that as well, it being so recent, as a motivation?
I don't know if we can use it as a motivation, but I think we can hopefully use it as a learning tool, and maybe bits that we can probably pick from it, and look back at it on how the game went, and we were nearly enough chasing the game from minute one, really enough chasing the tie, I should say, from minute one. So hopefully we can pick up, we can be better than that. But overall, we played a really good opponent who went on to win that tournament.
What would it mean to you to reach the first European final in what, 47 years?
In my 47 years,
no, not yours.
I was wondering there.
in the clubs.
Yeah, it would be terrific. I think to reach any final for any team is a big thing. Everybody wants to try and be successful. It's very difficult to be a manager or at football clubs to be successful all the time. It's a hard thing. So we're trying. It was a great season last year, getting to the semi-final last year. We've done amazingly well to be in a semi-final just now. We're hoping that we can go one step further and make a final.
Yep. Hello.
Hi there.
Hi. It's almost a career ago, but did you relive that night in Alkmaar the last couple of days?
I reminded some of my staff that I had a game in Alkmaar with Everton a long time ago, when I was the manager there. So, yeah, but as thing goes on, there's that many games. There's probably about 500 or 600 games since I last done that. So time's moved on.
What about this game? Is West Ham United the big favourite?
No, I wouldn't say so, because I've got a lot of respect for AZ and the way they play and what they've got. I think they're doing an amazing season. So we've got a really tough opponent. I think any Dutch teams you play are always good. I think they're always good footballing teams, well coached. So it'll be a tough game for us.
Was it hard work for the scouts? Did you need to find a lot of information about AZ, or did you know something about them already?
I knew something about them. I knew about their the way they're building a club, their young players, the model they follow. They've got a lot of exciting young players. They're following a way of several clubs are going, maybe a little bit towards the Moneyball side of things, signing a lot of young players, which I really like. It's a great model if it suits your club. And but I've got to say that they've got talented footballers. Their young players are doing exceptionally well. They've just won the UEFA League as well. So at the moment it looks like they're building for the future. But they've also got a very good team at this moment in time as well.
Yeah, so watch out for Max Meering, the young guy who scored in the Youth League final and made the penalty against Anderlecht. It's youth AZ.
Yeah, they have some terrific young players, and I saw one or two who played against Lazio in the game, but were also featuring still in their young team. So, let's be fair, it's something which the Dutch have always been renowned for, is producing young players, and their young teams have always been exceptionally good.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Malik.
Hi, David. You mentioned fatigue there. I think this time last year, going into the Frankfurt game, it kind of felt like you're almost running out of steam with the league form. This year, it's almost the opposite. It feels like things are kind of just clicking in the league. Do you feel weirdly like you might even be taking more momentum into this game?
Well, I remember Sir Alex Ferguson always used to talk about this was the time of the year where you had to be at your best, because it tends to be that games that are really important could be semi-finals, could be finals. Maybe in league games you have to win. So I think having your best form at this time of the season is always a good thing. I do believe that we're playing some of our best stuff just now. I still think that we can get much better. I'm hoping that we're going to show that in the coming games.
Because you obviously brought a lot of players in the summer, and so that had its own problems in terms of the transition and stuff. But do you think you're seeing the benefit now of that bigger squad?
Yeah, I think I'm beginning to see what we signed, which were full internationals from different countries. Boys who had proved that they had talent and shown their worth in different other leagues. But again, coming to the Premier League at times can make it very difficult for people to settle. And it's not just us, players here. I can think of many clubs and many players who are having the same situation. But I do believe that many of them are beginning to find their way through it and beginning to understand it. And thankfully, we're doing much better.
I remember you saying, I remember you saying last year before the Frankfurt second leg that you hoped that would be your time to win a trophy. Is it a similar feeling for you this time, or has the experience of that just again hammered home to you how difficult it all is?
It certainly made me realise that it is, every tournament you play in is incredibly difficult to get to a semi-final or a final. Certainly here, for example, to win any of the major trophies in the UK with the quality of the teams, we saw one of them last night playing a game, the standard of the football teams that you've got to beat. So I think what we've done in Europe last season in getting to the final, the teams we had to beat, we obviously lost to the winners of the competition in Eintracht Frankfurt. And I think this year again, we're season been more difficult. I think this year's been an amazing achievement, and we know it's seen as a lower competition. But I think still to be at this stage is great for us. And I said before, you can't take European football for granted, because every year, there's so many teams in the Premier League trying to get in that position. With us finishing 6th for the Europa League and last year 7th for the Conference League, no, that's no mean feat. And we know probably now it looks like is more than certainty we can only get to Europe through winning this competition. So it'd be great if we could try and do that again.
Kieran? Alkmaar have averaged the youngest 11 in the Conference League this season. Do you sort of look at that and think, all right, that's not too bad, they're inexperienced, or do you look at it and think, or could be fearless sort of thing?
I look at it from a good point. I look at it as a great model if you can get it to work. And I think that because their team's winning, they're doing well, they've got momentum in a really good division with super teams. I think that one of the questions said, you're going to the games as favourites. Well, yeah, maybe we will, but I've got to say we're going to come up against a team with young, hungry players who are playing really well at the moment. And we're going to have to try and use our experience, which undoubtedly we'll have more experience than maybe Alkmaar would have. But overall, that doesn't always get you all the results, but we have to try and use it and give ourselves the best advantage we can.
Obviously, West Ham won the FA Youth Cup, Alkmaar won the UEFA League, and it's sort of two good football factories. And do you see that as the right way to go? Because these clubs can't afford to go and splash 100 mil.
I've always said that, I think having your own players, there'll be some clubs do it differently. The model that we're talking about, AZ, is probably quite extreme in a way how they might choose their players. But I've always thought that bringing young players in, your own young players, is huge. And I've got to say, I think Holland as a country are probably one of the best at developing their own young players and giving them opportunities to play.
Jordan?
Hi, David. You'll sit here and say that you're focused on the semi, not the final. That's a way away. But players dream. Jared sat here and said that he dreams of scoring the winning goal, and you may secretly dream. Is that something you need to embrace, not hide away from?
I don't think we've ever hidden away. I think I've always said, I want to get to the final. I want to take the team to the final if I can do so. But when you get to the semi-final, you've got another opponent. You want to show respect, and you want to give them that respect, because you have to be a good side to get to a semi-final. AZ have been shown how good they are and done it really well. They've beaten some big sides on the journey already. They had to put Anderlecht out. Prior to that, they had Lazio. So they've had some big games to get there. So I don't think them coming to us will be... They played at Ajax at the weekend. I don't think them coming to us will be a big fear for them. But do I want to get to a final? Well, 100%. And we'll do everything we possibly can to do so. And
do you think you'll actually be able to enjoy it properly? Because I think this season Europe has been used as a distraction maybe from the league. But now where you are in the league and you're in a good position, you can actually say we're going to focus on this for what it is, and that's a semi-final?
Yeah, I think we can breathe a little more easier because of the result, the great result we had at the weekend. And let's be fair, our results in Europe have been really good. You know, we've had a really good run. You know, positive results, scoring goals, winning away, winning at home. So we have to try and keep that going. And if we do that, then we've got a great chance of getting to the final. But again, we have an opponent which, you know, at no time would I underestimate in any way.
Mike?
David, I appreciate you got to an FA Cup final with Everton. You got Everton into the top 4. But in the context of a difficult Premier League season this year, would it be your greatest achievement to get to a European final?
I think it to get to a European final, it could be, yeah. I've been really fortunate. I got to quarter-final of the Champions League with Man United. Lost in penalty kicks in the quarter-final of the Europa League with Everton. Last season I was in a semi-final with West Ham, and this year we're in a semi-final again. So I want to try and take it that one step further. It'd be easier to say it than what it is just now if I could get to a final. And I refer back to probably the serial winner in Jose Mourinho. You know, the serial winner found winning this trophy so special for him, for his football club, and for me. Then I'm saying, well, you know, if ever I needed somebody to show what it's like and how hard it is, it would be Jose, and he treated it as if it was so important. So there'll be no way I'm treating it any less than that.
Barely a month ago, you walked across the pitch at Fulham after winning 1-0, and there was a Moyes out banner among the away fans. It's a good job that the board didn't take the banner's sort of advice on board, isn't it? There's a lot to be said for sticking with a lot of the teams around you in the Premier League have changed coach, but West Ham have been loyal to you, and this is your way of repaying them, isn't it?
Well, I think that the last 2 years, I think we've had a really successful seasons here at West Ham. In fact, I think they've been great seasons for West Ham. Obviously, we'd like to do better. This year's been a bit disappointing in many aspects, but not this competition. This competition, we've been excellent. I would say that the board have been clever, thought about it, and you know, I hope that they've probably realised that they've come to the right decision, and people would realise it was the right decision. So I think that overall, you know, the support I've had from David Sutherland, Karen Brady, you know, the Gold family, you name it, I've had great support from them, and when there was a lot of noise outside, they were incredibly supportive.
Gabby?
Hi, David. It sort of feels like this season in the league, when West Ham have had to win a game, when they've had must-win games, they have won those games. Does that give you confidence going into the latter stages of what is a knockout competition?
It does, because I think we've got big players. I think we've got players who've played in big games, big competitions, and I think this is the sort of moments that they probably were thinking this season this is what it was going to be, and no, we've been disappointed we've not had that. This is as closest to a big occasion as we can get at the moment. So this is where, you know, you hope that your big players stand up, they come out and they show exactly what they're capable of, they showcase themselves, and you know, if we continue playing as well as we have done in some of the recent games, we'll give ourselves every chance.
And just on last year, in the first minute of the semi-final, you obviously conceded. Was that a situation where maybe it was the occasion got to the players, and have they learnt from that, do you think?
I don't know if I would say it got to the players, because I thought we were actually in, you know, we were in a good place at the time. But I think it's just one of the things in football which, you know, you hope that it doesn't happen, and you hope that you learn a little bit from it. We talk about small things which are the details. It meant that probably after a minute we were really chasing the tie after that, in a way, you know, the rest of the game, and also having to go to Frankfurt for the second leg as well.
Okay, last couple now. Russia.
Yeah, David, just to follow up to that question, what are some of the lessons you hope your players would have learned from that loss against Frankfurt?
Well, I think it starts from the top, starts from me, the leader. You know, your emotions, how you deal with them. You know, I got myself sent off in the second game, and which I didn't think helped my team, but we were up against it at that time. We were down to 10 men, and you know, things that we'd felt hadn't gone particularly well for us. So I still think that's something we need to control. We need to look to do better at that. We play in a league here which is probably still got the most physical element to it than there is in any other European competition. which is admired and respected all throughout the world because of the speed of the game, the tempo, the intensity, the ball and time play. All those things are really important to Premier League football. Quite often when we get to games like this, we're not quite sure what we're going to expect regarding decision making, how it's going to go. So it's something which we have to be able to adapt to and find ourselves changeable. And I think also the learning points are, you know, watch that you don't do anything stupid. Make sure that you're giving yourself every chance in the game.
In terms of your recent interaction with fans, how often do they talk about the Conference League and how proud they are the club reaching this far in Europe?
It's incredible. The West Ham supporters are bumping into it all saying, wow, you know, and the amount of people who are coming to the game, I mean, we're probably, I don't know what it'll be, 65,000? 62,500 at the game, which is incredible for this league. And to be fair, there'll be very few clubs, I've said this before, all around Europe could get anywhere close to that level of support. So it shows you how much it does mean. We're fully aware of it. And I find all the West Ham supporters really buzzing that they've got a chance of getting to a final. I actually think last year, being in the semi-final, everybody was thrilled by it. We were disappointed we didn't make the final, but we're hoping that we can go one step better this year and reach the final.
And last for me, David, Lucas Paquetá spoke to the club's in-house media earlier this week. And he said you promised him you would dance if the club were to win the Conference League. So you practicing a dance moves in front of the mirror?
It'll be that dad's dancing again. I'll be out. Don't worry about that. But don't know if I promised them it. But I don't want to dance with those Brazilians. I've seen their moves. So let's hope that there's an opportunity to try and do that.
I'm sure you've got a few moves up your locker.
Always have done. Bit of that disco fever stuff. I think a bit of that in the bag.
I think it's a good time to end. Thank you, everyone.